wow. What strategies do I use to ensure effective communication amongst team members? Oh, strategies is such a big word and it's so overused. How do I get team members to communicate effectively? Let's shrink it down to that. Okay. First of all, I don't. It's on them. I can't make them talk to each other. I can't do things. What I can do is set up an environment where some things are more effective than others. Please remember throughout all of this, we're talking about empiricism. So when you're trying things, make sure you know why. Okay? What are you measuring? How do you know if it's better or not? And keep rinsing and repeating that. So it doesn't really matter where you start. One of the really wonderful things about the agile world is you're going to get stuff wrong. That's okay. From it, learn and take that learning into the next iteration. So I'll share some things, but whatever you're doing today, keep trying it. Find something else. Move on. Move forwards. Always moving forwards to be better. For me, it's invariably finding the channels that they use that are as quick as possible while being appropriate. So one of the things that most of the teams that I work with now are online, and most of the teams that my Scrum Masters and Agile coaches that I work with find themselves online. One of the most powerful ones I've seen is actually having an always on, and I'll put the caveats on that, an always on video call. Okay? So imagine coming in, logging into whatever tool you use for video calls at approved time, an agreed time. The team that I always think of, from 10 till 3:30 or 3, something like that, they have a continual call going. Okay? Their microphones are off, their videos are off. They're not actually on a call, but what they are on, okay, is a virtual version of being in the office together. What they've found is having this call, and it takes minimal bandwidth and processing power off your machine, okay, is that if they need a hand, they can just unmute and say, John, I need a hand. You remember that thing? Can we have a quick catch up? And they're using it no different to being sat at desks and saying, oi, John, come over here. Okay? Now, two things have happened. One, they've signaled the person that they want to talk to, if there is a particular person or just generally the team, I need to understand this better, who's got some time. But they've also alerted members of the team to the fact that a conversation is about to happen. Okay? And this is actually a really important part of it. We naturally do it. When we work in the office together, it's really easy because you've always got one ear out for stuff happening unless you are so deep. And if you are so deep, now's not the time for you to have that conversation anyway. But the person that you need to talk to has said, yeah, let's jump on a call. Anybody else want to join us? All right, we'll share the link to the call and you hop over there and you have your call. That's immediate. That's about as immediate as it gets. They don't rely on phone calls. They don't go, oh, let's pop up. Okay? They just call out. They'll also tend to be using some sort of chat function for not immediate stuff. John, when you've got a minute, can you give me a shout? That kind of thing. Okay? So be it Slack or Teams or whatever, they're using these two. These are the predominant ways, talking and short form messaging. Okay? Because you want to use the short form messaging to set up the talking. So it's a quick message, none of this hi, blah, blah, blah. Just, I need to talk to you about this. It might come across blunt, but you know what? We're not spending 5 minutes on niceties when we work in a team together. So just getting it over and saying, I need to talk to somebody about this. Somebody give me a shout when they've got 5 minutes. Okay? Those two combined actually allow for very effective alignment because we all know what's going on and when it's happening. Okay? And communication itself. We can now talk to the right people at the right time. Email is going to rear its ugly head. Personally, not a fan. Email is something to document conversations afterwards. Okay? If you need to share stuff and things like that, use file sharing. Just upload it in Slack or whatever. It will store it for you, absolutely fine. Okay? Email is often a we talked about. And what I found is, and one of the wonderful benefits of being online is record the call. If it's an internal call within the team, what's wrong? assuming that you check your data policies, with just hitting the record button or bringing a transcriber in, turn the transcription on, take it, stick it in the wiki, and it's there for everybody to find. There's no need to remember everything. Make notes if you want, nothing wrong with making notes, but there's a computer doing it for you. I would still make notes because it's not perfect yet, and some of the things we talk about, transcribers have no idea what to do with, but we've captured the call seamlessly, it's effortless, and you've got it forever. The cost of text in a wiki is negligible. So now we've got a searchable database of everything everybody in the team is talking about. Outside of the team, I would always recommend use it with caution and use it with permission. Okay, if you've got a customer, ask them, is it okay if we transcribe this and load it into here? We'll send you a copy, whatever it is that makes them happy. Okay? So that now, if I can't make the meeting as well, I can still stay aligned, I can still stay in the loop at my pleasure when it makes sense for me. One of the things that I have found is teams are referring back to the transcriptions and indeed the original video calls because transcriptions lose nuance. So it's great. You've got a team and they had a refinement meeting and they agreed something. And one of the team members doesn't agree with what's remembered in the collective. Now, if there's no recording, they're going to lose. But there is a team that I'm thinking of for this one. They went back to the transcription. The transcription agreed with the collective memory of the team, but this person was adamant. So they went back to the original recording, okay? And they had the voice, they had the video, and the phrase everybody was hanging on, the person who said it was being sarcastic. You could tell through the tone of their voice. And it's just a wonderful example of the downside of the written word. It's hard to put that in. It's hard to describe what you mean with just writing the conversation out. Okay. We've got all these tools. Make use of them. Personally, the faster the feedback, the shorter the time spent in ensuring we're having the right people in the right conversation, the better. So personally, video channels. Keep a call open. Keep talking to people through the team. I've talked to some team members who have openly admitted that their partners think they've lost the plot because they are talking in their offices to seemingly nobody. But there is another team member and they're chatting about the football and things. It's again that relationship building coming through. But when they need to switch to work, they can. And it's brilliant. The immediacy is amazing. Now, everybody's heard what you're talking about. Those who need to can join and you take your conversation elsewhere. But if it's everybody, why not stay on that call? Right? And if it's not urgent, using something like Slack or Teams and sending a message to the person or the people that need to know so that they can choose when to engage you through that video channel. For me, you don't need much more than that in the remote world. Things like email are useful backup plans. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.